Well, welcome again to our greenhouse here in Cambridge. It's the middle of August and the absolute star performer amongst our scented orchids this month is this one, Prosthechea radiata. Now, it's hanging quite high up overhead, so I've just brought in some little steps so that I can get nearer to talk to you. This plant this year has about 20 spikes on it. If I turn it round, you can see it's quite well furnished with flowers all the way around. And the scent is really, it fills the whole conservatory with scent during the day for the whole of August. In fact, it starts flowering at the end of July and will actually carry on until the first or second week of September at least. So there's a very long flowering period. But for the whole of August, the flowers look perfect and fill the air with scent during the day. When I looked on the internet, there was a little bit of controversy about the quality of the scent. This particular plant came from Burnham Nurseries down in Devon here in England. And I think most people would agree, at least people who come in here say, oh, what is that lovely smell? So I can certainly vouch for this particular clone. They come from Central America and they cover quite a big range of altitudes from around 150 metres to 2,000 or so metres above sea level. So the distribution is quite wide, and I think there must be quite a lot of variation amongst the wild population of the plant. Anyway, this one is a really nice one. It's been in this Western red cedar slatted basket since at least 2015, so that's over 7 years. And as you can see, it's absolutely filled the basket with a mass of roots and shoots. And over the years, it has actually sort of grown out of the basket, and I've actually taken quite large divisions off to give to people. I should say about it, there's a fan just up there out of shot that casts a sort of gentle waft of air over it. Being quite high up, it gets quite good light, which they like. And the temperature in here is intermediate, which is what most people generally think is good. When it comes to looking after it, I spray it, I just give it a misting and try to sort of moisten the roots around it most mornings, unless it's really miserable weather. And I like to sort of spray it overhead because the leaves on top, where they get a bit of air movement and quite a lot of light, just occasionally get a little bit of red spider mite. But apart from that, it's really quite trouble-free. When it comes to watering it, which I do about once a week, I have the task of unhooking it from its support and getting it down. And it's actually quite heavy because it's, as you can see, it's really now quite a big plant. And in fact, the next time it produces quite a big clump of shoots on the side, I think I'm going to take them off, put them in a new basket and grow a new one for myself so that eventually this one can be divided up. So when it comes to watering, I just put it on, rest it over this large plastic tub, and with a weak sort of feed that I use for my other orchids, just pour it over the roots. I try, not to pour it down the new growths any more than necessary. And then I'll leave that for a few minutes, and then after a couple of minutes, just give it another soak so that I can be fairly sure that it's fairly well wetted. You can see that some of the leaves on the top of the plant, where they get a lot of light, are a little bit pale, whereas those further down are quite a rich green. And if they've got a bit dusty, and if I suspect they've got a few red spider mites, I've just sort of cut a strip of foam rubber like this, and then you can wrap it round a leaf and just wipe the whole leaf like that. Gets rid of any dust, gets rid of any red spider mites and any of their eggs all in one go. And then when it's drained for a few minutes, I hook it back up onto where it came from, which isn't very easy. Ah, got it. Now, just before I finish up, I want to show you this species Phalaenopsis, Phalaenopsis corningiana. This is the first time that I've had it flowering. I've added a few species Phalaenopsis to my collection over the last year or so, ever since I discovered that with some gentle heat from some heated mats, which only a few watts during the winter just to raise the temperature, I can just about keep some of the sort of lowland species Phalaenopsis fairly, well, happy enough over the winter. They'd like it warmer, but I do the best I can. Anyway, this one has a really, I don't really know how to describe it. It's got a strong scent, so you can smell it from quite a distance. On the internet, different people say different things. Some people say spicy. Spicy isn't the word that springs to mind for me. One thing, it doesn't sound very enticing, but I think of a sort of tablet of quite old-fashioned sort of soap that isn't too highly scented. Now that doesn't make it sound very enticing, but I can assure you it's really, really interesting. Certainly makes me want to keep picking it up and smelling it.